Last week, I started a four-part series called Why We Do What We Do. The series is about reasons for being a member of a group such as this. The first message in the series was called Becoming Change. And that message said that we get to be a miniature version, a microcosm of the world we want, the beloved community. We discussed specific, practical ways that we can do that. The series is inspired by a Facebook post by Pastor Yashad Radav. And that post lists 10 reasons to consider joining a spiritual community. The seventh reason is this: to join a church is to cultivate an environment unlike your home, work, or play, where your life is not measured according to any other purpose or goal than to discover and enjoy your own humanity. To discover and enjoy your own humanity. And I want to broaden that a little for us. One benefit of being a member of this Unitarian Universalist congregation is discovering and enjoying humanity in general. Not just your humanity, not just my humanity, but all humanity. Now, of course, we could expand that even further to celebrate what our seventh principle mentions: the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We need to think deeply about that interconnectedness with all existence. This morning, let's focus more on the first principle of Unitarian Universalism, and that one is a commitment to the inherent worth and dignity of every person. When I was a child, growing up in fundamentalist Christianity, sometimes a sermon would have 3 points, all beginning with the same letter. Something sort of like this morning, let's think about 3 P's: promise, power, and prayer. I can't say I've never preached that way, but I don't preach like that often now. Sometimes it can help, but sometimes it's cheesy. But this morning I offer 2 M's. 2 M words: messy and marvelous. First, humanity is messy. People are not always kind. We aren't always loving or compassionate. We don't always listen and love. We don't always live out our values. Injury and sickness and death happen. Friends can turn on us. Relationships can end. Trust can die. Peace can devolve into poorly managed conflict that stomps on our hearts, our freedoms, our lives. A few months ago, I invited our minister emeritus, Reverend Rhett Baird, to write a few comments for my installation as your new minister. And that statement included these words: life is not fair. Pain and joy and loss are the lot of each one of us. And a poem by Authie Moore mentions the reality of human pain and messiness. Here are a few words of that poem. The horror of death, the fear of seclusion, the uncertainty and anger that courses through our minds, it is all there, and all so real. We cannot run. There is nowhere to hide. That poem also says that compassion is the key to humanity. The key to humanity. And that reminds me of another meaning of the word humanity. The word can mean the nature of being humans, Homo sapiens. The word humanity also can refer to interacting with people in humane ways. In humane ways, not inhumane ways. And that is marvelous. According to author Lindsay Rowland, compassion is the feeling one experiences when they witness someone else's misery, pain, or distress and want to take action to relieve that suffering. This is not a new idea. Several religious traditions have versions of what we might call the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And in a conversation with some of you a few weeks ago, one of you said that we could improve that by saying, treat others the way they want to be treated. Confucius apparently said, I never know for sure if a Confucius statement is actually from Confucius or not. I did whatever research I could to verify this, but apparently Confucius said, if you want to make a stand, help others make a stand. And if you want to reach your goal, help others reach their goal. Consider yourself and treat others accordingly. This is the method of humanity. And in Christianity, the New Testament has a story that you may have heard of. It's usually called the Good Samaritan. A man was walking from one town to another, and some robbers beat him up and left him to die. Humanity is messy, so is technology sometimes. Okay, so a man got beat up by robbers and was dying on the side of the road, almost dying. Two highly respected leaders passed by and did nothing. They were too busy. And then someone stopped. And the one who stopped to help was culturally different from the beat-up person. The first hearers of the story would not have expected people from those two groups to interact with each other at all. But this Good Samaritan disregarded social norms to help someone in need. Compassion can happen in unexpected situations. According to the Salem Press Encyclopedia, research has shown that people feel more compassionate toward others when they think about those who helped them when they were hurting or suffering. So let's have a short pause to let us think of ways people have treated us with compassion. What was the situation? How did the person help you? What did you think? What did you feel? And Renee will play a little soft music as we reflect. You may write or draw or just think silently, however this time would be most helpful to you. We do have some papers and crayons that will be available, and I think there might be some pencils around, and I'll have those available in just a moment. Renee? as Renee continues to play, I'll just offer a brief clarification that this is not going to be shared unless you share it with someone. So feel free to write or draw whatever it is that you're remembering, some way that somebody treated you with compassion. Compassion makes humanity marvelous. In our uniquenesses, all our messiness, our differences, we can embrace our humanity, our various manifestations of humanity, our various experiences of humanity. We can embrace all of that, all of us, and make the world a better place. The statement from Rev Rhett also said that I would share with you my understanding of what it means to be human, that I would share with you the centrality of love and community in the human journey, and that I would find new and creative ways to call you to move toward becoming your best selves, toward knowing yet again that you are worthy and acceptable and capable of bringing light and joy and love and forgiveness into the world that needs your healing voice and touch. May it be so.